Coming up next is Dr. Kimberly Taylor. Here's your chance to talk about what matters to you. Although you will receive helpful advice from Dr. Taylor, remember, this is not to be construed as a form of psychotherapy, diagnosis, or treatment, and cannot replace a therapeutic relationship with a mental health professional. You can reach Dr. Taylor by calling 564-1290 or toll free at 866-564-1290. You can also listen live on the internet at drkimtaylorshow.com. So here now is Dr. Kimberly Taylor.
Welcome to the program. I'm Dr. Kimberly Taylor, and I thought that we would talk about the perils of the pushover parent. We have all seen these kids in the store throwing tantrums with parents unsure of what to do. And as the observer, we all tend to either judge the parent very harshly, or secretly, we pray that our child never embarrasses us like that in a public place. So do your kids call most of the shots in your house? Do you have trouble setting boundaries and sticking to them? Do you have a hard time saying no? Or do you tend to give in to your child just to keep the peace and to avoid conflict? Do you feel your teen is out of control and don't know why? Well, you are not alone. These are some of the signs and symptoms of a pushover parent. The truth is that parenting with a backbone takes real inner strength. But today, most stressed out parents let themselves be pushovers for the sake of convenience and to avoid the inevitable battles at home. But the problem here is that children need to learn healthy boundaries. They need it to survive in the real world. Kids must learn to deal with adversity and frustration in order to really learn how to cope so that they can grow up to be successful adults. Kids not only need limits, they want them. Growing up, doing household chores, and learning to follow the family rules will help to build a sense of self-esteem and pride. And well-adjusted, self-reliant kids have actually grown up with parents that set rules, establish expectations, and create those healthy boundaries. Effective parents focus trying to establish clear family rules and then sticking to them. They also let their children experience the consequences for their behavior so that they learn how to manage in the real world. The key to success at disciplining your child lies within your ability to be consistent and predictable with what is expected of them and to enforce consequences for bad behaviors. Children should be able to learn that privileges come with being responsible, and they need to be earned. Privileges without responsibility is a recipe for disaster. And parents, you lose your most powerful bargaining tool if you give it away too easily. So call me up today if you have a parenting question or a concern, or really anything else that's on your mind. I'm here to answer your questions, so get on the phone. I want to talk to you. You can reach me at 564-1290 or toll free at 866-564-1290. You can also send me an email at drkim@drkimtaylorshow.com, and I will try to answer it on the show. We will be right back after the break to take your calls. I'm Kimberly Taylor, and you're listening to KZSB AM 1290.
You are listening to Dr. Kimberly Taylor. You can reach her by calling 564-1290 or toll free at 866-564-1290.
Hi, how can I help you today?
Hi, how are you?
Good.
I'm a fourth grade teacher, and one of my students is a 9-year-old little boy, and he's actually very disrespectful, rude, ignores a lot of the things that I say for him to do. A lot of the classwork he just refuses to do. I've talked to Mom, and really Mom's making a lot of excuses that, oh, well, he's tired. When he is tired, he gets a little fresh with people. And I asked about, okay, well, what time is the bed? 11:30. But Mom is not really helping with the situation that he's disrespectful in school and stuff like that. My main concern is how to help him in the classroom to learn and to get his work done without really being disrespected in front of the class when he speaks to me or even refuses to do, the task that I'm asking him to do.
Okay. And do you see that he does this to everyone, or is it just you?
It's really I'm in a co-teaching classroom this year, so there's myself and there's a male teacher in the classroom as well. And I noticed that a lot of the disrespectful comments and ignoring of me is really towards me, not towards the male teacher as much.
Okay. And does the male teacher see this also?
Yes, the male teacher says also, and he also has different specials that he goes to, and the female teachers that teach art and music notice it more than the gym teachers, who are two males. The art and music teacher are females, and they also get a lot of disrespectful comments towards them as well from him. While the male gym teachers or PE teachers, they never, when I asked them, they said, "Oh, no, he doesn't say anything."
Okay. All right. So it definitely sounds like he is getting this role modeled by someone at home. You said that you have talked to the mom. Have you actually talked to the dad?
I have not talked to the dad.
Do you know what his situation is about dad at home?
Dad's there. I know that Dad's I've seen him once. He came in during another thing, and he was across the room. I didn't get a chance to meet him, but he's kind of like a rough and tumble guy. He kind of just, Vin, come on, and just kind of called him out and stuff like that. But I really don't know a lot about the situation at home. I do know that, Dad and Mom are both at the house. Like, they both, live with him, and they're still married and everything.
Okay.
But
well, here's my guess about what's going on. He is probably learning this from Dad, and Mom doesn't want to speak up about it because Mom doesn't have a real voice in that house, so she just makes excuses for him. So what I would tell you is maybe two things, is that it would be good to have a conference with both the mom and the dad and simply state what it is that you're seeing, and to probably have your male co-teacher there at the same time so that you're both talking about it, to see if you can get through to them that definitely something is happening with this young boy who is learning that it's okay to treat females badly.
right.
The other thing that I would say is, because he has male teachers as well as female, it would be really good that if he could have a different kind of male role model. You might want to talk to his other male teachers and have them talk to him about how to treat females.
Okay, that is a good idea, yeah.
That would be pretty powerful. Do you think that you could talk to them and get them all kind of on board about what you're seeing with this student, to have them help you?
Yeah, absolutely. Even, because the two of us are both in the classroom, if we can model, just how a healthy, maybe, way to speak to each other, it's a great idea.
Yes, and that each time that this young boy is disrespectful in some way, that the male teacher comes right over and says, that's not okay. So that he reinforces what you're saying. Rather than you saying something and him ignoring it, the male teacher can come and reinforce that also. Because as a female, he may just be seeing you as not important to listen to, just as perhaps he doesn't listen to his mother.
Right. Okay, so then we'll definitely try those two things.
Mm-hmm. There's nothing more powerful than to have really the male figure teach him what's appropriate and what's not, especially in this case where there might be something more going on at home where he's not getting that specific kind of role modeling.
Right. Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, well, thank you for doing your job. Being a teacher is like being an angel, so we thank you for doing that.
Oh, well, thank you very much for your help.
All right, thanks for calling.
Okay, thanks.
I'm Kimberly Taylor, and you're listening to KZSB AM 1290. This is Dr. Kim Taylor, and we're on the phone with Lori. Hi, Lori.
Hi.
What's on your mind today?
Well, I'm just calling in. I'm I've been divorced 2.5 years and just constantly worried about handling my finances.
Okay. Is there a problem with them, or is this just a worry that you keep having even though you're not in a crisis?
I'm really not in a crisis, but it's just a constant, plays over constantly in my mind, and I think some of that is because my ex-husband told me close to the very end of our marriage that I was financially irresponsible, which I really don't believe, but I hear that over and over in my mind and think, well,
Okay.
maybe I am.
And when you hear that over and over, what do you feel?
It makes me feel bad, and it makes me question my ability to handle my financial situation.
But was it true?
And yet I know that I am doing a good job.
Okay, so what he said actually was not true for you as far as you know about yourself.
Right.
Does it make you angry?
A little bit.
So it was hurtful that he said this.
Yes, it was very hurtful.
Okay, because he probably knew that that's something that you did depend on him for, and it was just his last jab, perhaps, at you that you might not be able to take care of yourself when he's gone.
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
I think I felt at first that probably wasn't, that probably was the case. I thought I couldn't take care of myself, but yet I do feel that I can. Maybe some of it is that I don't really want to, but I have to. And It's learning to get used to me having to do it and make the decisions rather somebody do it for me.
Okay, so you put a lot into this marriage and you believed it was all that you would really need to do to ever be happy. And now you're left with, what are you going to do now?
Yes.
Okay. So this is a good opportunity to really learn a lesson that you're going to be challenged here to actually create a life that does make you happy without this husband.
Yes.
What do you feel when you're thinking about doing that? Are you getting involved in things? Are you feeling that you can handle your life, or are you still feeling somewhat scared?
I'm still feeling somewhat scared.
Okay.
And I know I can handle it, and maybe feel that it's been long enough, I should feel better that I can handle it. But there's still that scary part of not believing that I can.
So maybe it's time to start to give yourself all the opportunities necessary for you to grow and to feel good about yourself. What it may have been is that finding him to get married as the most important thing, and that it made you feel unnecessary to really find yourself.
Yes.
So the money and your feelings about it may just be a symptom of the growth that you need to do now, to really start to trust yourself, to meet some challenges, to push yourself, to really figure out the strength of your own character and who Lori is really all about.
I think the fear is the fear of failing. And so the not pushing hard enough, if I don't have to push hard enough, then I really don't have to fail.
You have to push through this painful place in order to deal with your fear of being alone. By moving out of the comfort zone that your marriage provided, you will be needing to challenge yourself and take risks so that you can grow again and build this new life that you want. It's only by going through this process that you're going to be able to trust again and to start to believe in yourself, to manage your life separate from the dependence that you have felt with others.
I want to appear to be this confident person that kind of deep down I feel I am, but I guess I need to show it outwardly rather than inwardly.
I think you need to show it to yourself, and you need to lead with that part of yourself that is strong, that does feel confident and want to be that way. I'm Kimberly Taylor, and you're listening to KZSB AM 1290.
You are listening to Dr. Kimberly Taylor. You can reach her by calling 564-1290 or toll free at 866-564-1290.
Hi, we're back. I just want to mention that you can also send me an email at drkim@drkimtaylorshow.com. And also you can follow us on Twitter now at the Dr. Kim Taylor Show. So we're going to be on the phone, and let's see, we're going to be talking to Diane. Hi, what's going on today?
Kim, I have a teenage son that just graduated. He was the popular guy in high school. Everyone, knew him. He was all that. And then, now he's back to being a freshman again at a place that nobody knows him, and he's not in sports, and he was, really into sports. And he is at the community college, and he is just kind of hard to deal with right now. I'm not used to this.
Okay.
I'm not really sure how to deal with it. Now he's kind of changed a bit.
Okay, what's changed?
His personality, his demeanor, his positive attitude, his friendliness, his my happy-go-lucky son has become this recluse, kind of locked himself in his bedroom, on his computer, on his phone, and I'm just not really sure how to deal with him.
Okay, when did this start changing, Diane?
It started changing, I'm going to say about a month ago. I think
Okay.
with all of his friends going away to college, and he's staying here at the community college.
Okay, but what you're saying is that he is isolating himself. He is not talking. He has had a personality change. He is depressed. Is he sleeping more?
Possibly.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd have to say he is.
Okay. Do you have any thought that your son may be using drugs?
You know what? I thought that, and I've been reassured he's not. He never did it in high school.
Well, but this is almost too quick and too drastic. Something else is going on. This is not just that that his friends have left town. It feels more serious than that.
Well, just because I know, I know that, you get your personality changes.
Yes.
And
what else? What else do you know about your son?
Well, he's usually a really happy guy.
That's right.
I just feel like he is not happy anymore.
Okay.
I know he's not happy anymore.
Okay.
When he's not here, he's out and he's having a great time. So maybe just being here, being home.
Did you talk to him?
I did.
And did you say that there's just a part of you that knows that there's something more going on? What about giving him a drug test? This all happened too quick. There is that voice within you that's saying there's just something off. It isn't just about his friends leaving. And it's time to really find out. And if he has nothing to hide, he'll do this. But you are probably going to find out quite a bit if he says no or if he fights you on this.
Absolutely.
And one thing that I would tell you is if this has just happened within the last couple of months and you can catch this quickly, if this is the case, you're going to be much better off than for him to continue to do this.
No, yeah, you're right. No kidding.
And then what it would do is it would actually open up the family conversation and try to engage him in that process to talk about his life, talk about what he wants, what his dreams and hopes are. He may be very depressed about where he thinks he's going in his life, but it would just open up that conversation in a very serious way and not just one where he can just walk out and say, no, things are fine, Mom, nothing's going on, and do nothing about it. One thing that I would tell you is that one of the drugs that is being used out there, which goes unnoticed a lot, is heroin use.
You're right.
And kids get hooked onto it so quickly, and they get it so cheaply, and they do it because it makes them feel good, especially at this time in their life when they're having all kinds of doubts about themselves. And that what you just described is very symptomatic of that, where they go out and they have fun, or they at least go out with friends, but then when they come back home, they crash, they're in a depressed mood, they don't want to talk, they aren't moving forward in their life, they're rather staying stuck. But I would definitely trust your instinct on this, to follow through with it, to open up that dialogue so that this becomes a family issue that you are going to talk about and that you are going to work through. I'm Kimberly Taylor, and you're listening to KZSB AM 1290. We're on the phone with Mary. Hi, Mary. How can I help you?
Well, I had a question regarding my oldest sister. She's will be 92 on September 1, and in her old age, I would say the last year, her memory is going so, and she has odd thoughts about what's happening in her past and digging up things that don't make any sense. She doesn't give a true statement. She's picking them out of the air. And some have told me that that's the beginning of Alzheimer's, though she's always been very sharp and has been able to be sweet and kind, and now she's very bitter and mad about things that happened in her life, and she's made accusations against some of us that are certainly false, and we're worried about her condition.
Mary, from what you've described, it does sound like your sister is having some cognitive difficulties. So she really needs to be seen by a professional who can assess her and determine if it is the Alzheimer's, if it is dementia or depression. And then they will be able to provide an appropriate course of treatment that will really be individualized to treat her specific symptoms.
Her daughter is telling us that she is seeing a counselor recommended by a doctor, but no one has told us in what capacity the counselor has the authority to judge her condition. So we've been held at bay about her condition by the daughter that's looking after her.
Okay, so it sounds like more of the problem you have is with the daughter, that she seems
to be the thing.
Okay. All right, so she seems to be what's keeping you from being able to meet with your sister or talk with your sister or have something else going on with her.
Yes.
Do you have any reason to believe that the daughter is not caring for her mother?
No, she cares for her properly, and she thinks she's doing the right thing. But recently my nephew sat down with her daughter and said, look, maybe we could all interject some kind of a treatment or an investigation by a doctor who knows what she's doing and have her see what she thinks about it.
Well, and I think at this point in time that it is a family issue, that you're all trying to deal with her. It sounds like you're all trying to do what is right for her. And so to come together as a family to help support who is your sister at 92 years old and make sure that she is getting the best medical help and that she is having a thorough assessment and that any differences that come up are quickly reported to the doctor so that the doctor can keep on track about what else might be helpful for her at this time. But to try to Yes, but to try to do it on your own probably is not going to work. But if you bring everybody together, you probably can increase the probability that other people can hear and that you all know that you're there to help your sister or their mother.
Good advice, Dr. Kim. Thank you for helping me.
I'm Kimberly Taylor, and you're listening to KZSB AM 1290. Hi, we're back this afternoon. This is Kimberly Taylor, and we're on the phone with Emily. Emily, hi. How are you doing, and what can I help you with?
I'm good, thanks, Dr. Taylor. I'm actually having a kind of performance problems at work, I guess, that are just uncharacteristic of me, and I'm quite bothered by it.
Okay. All right. And what kind of work do you do?
I'm a registered nurse.
Okay, so these are problems that you're having with your performance. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. I work in intensive care at a very, very busy facility, which has been fine all these years. I've kind of, relished the chaos and managed a pretty high functioning and used to a high stress environment. But in the last 2 weeks is actually when the problems have started. I clearly haven't been functioning to my usual. I've made medication errors, missed orders, that kind of thing that are just really, really not acceptable in my profession.
All right. So you said this started to happen 2 weeks ago. What happened 2 weeks ago?
The only thing, and I've discussed it with my daughters, is I worked some very long shifts. We do 12-hour shifts, and I did 5 of those 2 weeks in a row. So they kind of point to that as a possible reason. One of my coworkers also said something about, working too much and being too tired, and I made a statement that I am so used to functioning at this level of tiredness that I don't even realize how exhausted I am.
What do you think is going on?
Honestly, I'm kind of wondering, because I'm really tired of working. Would dearly love to retire. I just can't right now, and I actually wonder to myself if I'm, subconsciously, even not even that subconsciously, short-circuiting in order to make that happen, and this wouldn't be a very good way to be doing that.
Your gut is saying, I think it's more. I think it's that I don't want to be here. Mm-hmm. Okay. What would it mean to you if you weren't there?
It would it would be difficult, I think, maybe not so much, to find another avenue, another nursing venue, I guess. I really need the income. I'm supporting my daughter and her child as well right now. I can't retire right now.
Okay, but is it time for a change? Because sometimes it doesn't mean we have to do what is drastic, but maybe all it is your intuition, your gut saying, I need to make a change. I either need less stress or a different venue or a different way to think about this.
That's very likely, yeah.
Let your daughter have a heads up about you're going to need her to be a little bit more responsible for her part too?
Yeah, I've absolutely thought about that, and I've actually scheduled a meeting with my boss to talk about this same thing, just to kind of put it out there. Yeah. Okay,
because let's see if what happens that after you have that talk, after you actually admit to yourself and maybe to your boss that I'm thinking about changes, or I'm thinking that I need to have a little less stress, that see what happens as far as if your memory picks up, if you stop making these errors. Sometimes our subconscious does push us toward something so that we start to reveal more of a truth that's going on within ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds frighteningly probable.
Emily, you have spent a career caring for other people's needs, probably at the expense of your own sometimes. But now you have to listen to your own inner voice as it tells you what you need to do. I'm Kimberly Taylor, and you're listening to KZSB AM 1290. So we're going to take an email right now, and this is from Rusty, and he says, Dear Dr. Kim, I'm writing to you in hopes that you might be able to help me figure out why I feel so resentful and unhappy in my life. I am 30 years old and have never had a lasting romantic relationship with a woman. The last woman I dated broke up with me because I couldn't let it go when she forgot our 6-month anniversary. I don't understand why I am continually feeling disappointed by others. I feel this is getting in the way of me having fulfilling relationships. What do you think? Okay, Rusty, what do I think? Well, I think that it sounds like you are so afraid of being rejected by others that you beat them to the punch by finding a way to reject them first. I think that what happens is then you use this as evidence or proof that everyone will eventually disappoint you, and then you become angry and resentful. So you end up feeling lonely because you have pushed everyone else away. I think what's happening is that you probably don't allow people to get close enough to you because you fear if you did, they would find something about you to reject. So, Rusty, it's really time to let go of the fear and be willing to take a risk for letting someone in and dealing with the anxiety of being seen for all of who you are. If you could first learn to accept yourself, and to accept yourself with the good, the bad, and the indifferent parts, you would be able to be less afraid about what others will see and more accepting of others. I'm Kimberly Taylor, and you're listening to KZSB AM 1290.
You are listening to Dr. Kimberly Taylor. You can reach her by calling 564-1290 or toll free at 866-564-1290.
Hi, this is Kim Taylor, and currently we're on the phone with Frank. Hi, Frank. What is going on in your life today?
Well, I've recently met a girl, and we've gotten close pretty quick, and didn't really meet her mother till about maybe a month ago. And
okay, and Frank, how long have the two of you been going out?
About 5 months.
Okay.
And just really maybe I expected too much, but I thought her mother would be more receptive to me and be interested in what I do and about my life. And it felt like she was really kind of almost jealous of her daughter being happy and me being a part of that. And so it's a concern to me that, there'll be some issue down the line.
Okay. Tell me, what does your girlfriend say about this? Is this something that her mother usually does, or has she just picked you out?
No, she said in this meeting that we had, the mother came out for my girlfriend's son's graduation and said it was really weird, and she never really acted like that before, and it was not like her mother at all.
Okay.
And so,
and has your girlfriend gone to her mother and sat with her mother and said, "Hey, Mom, this is very unlike you. What is going on? What's happening?"
No, kind of was just like kind of in shock at the whole thing herself, and just kind of didn't want to have to deal with all that issue while she was here for. It was all about her son and graduating and happy times, and didn't kind of like getting all that, and so. I talked to other people about it. Other people said the same thing. Some of her parents' friends that all know each other, and that sounds really weird that she acted that way because she's not that way in general.
Okay.
And her sister did the same thing. They were just kind of really standoffish towards me in general, and I thought that was kind of weird. That first of all, that's her daughter and her sister, and her sister finally found somebody after 14 years after divorce. Never had anybody in her life to come along, and then they wouldn't even really care.
You need to sit with your girlfriend and say, "I was very uncomfortable. I'm not sure what's going on with your mom, but that what I need to do is to tell you how I feel about that, and that for you to go and talk to your mom first and talk to your family first, so that you understand what's going on with them." Because if this is going to be a problem, then it's going to be a problem between the two of you.
That's right.
And I think that the most important thing that you need to know is, how is your girlfriend going to handle this? Frank, I think that the problem that you have is with your girlfriend. If your girlfriend has not discussed you with her family, if she just kind of surprised them with you, and that they have no idea what you mean to her, what part you've played, how long you've been together, that I think the question you have to ask with your girlfriend is, why are you keeping me secret? Why aren't you talking to your parents or your sisters about me? so that you can share with them what you feel. Because right now you're a stranger to them, and she's kept them at a distance so that she is not being forthcoming about what's going on between the two of you. And she's not trusting that she can talk to her family about this, so that they're not trusting you because they don't know anything about you.
Mm-hmm.
And she just kind of surprised them with you, and so they don't know how to take you because she hasn't told them what's going on. So something's missing here, and it has to do with whatever's happening between your girlfriend and her mother and sisters. I'm Kimberly Taylor, and you're listening to KZSB AM 1290. This is Kimberly Taylor, and I'm on the phone with Marie. Hi, how can I help you today?
Hi, I have a husband that I just found out that he's been unfaithful and that it's happened more than once.
Okay, how long have you been married?
About 6 years.
6 years. Okay, and how did you find out that he was unfaithful?
Through an email.
Okay, one that you read of his or one that someone sent to you?
One that somebody sent to him, and he left his email open.
Okay, so it sounds like you were somewhat suspicious or wondering what was going on. It's not normal for you to read his emails?
Yeah, I've had my suspicions.
Okay, all right. So you said that this has happened before. Do you know how long it's been happening, and is it an ongoing issue?
It's been an ongoing issue almost our entire relationship, not with one single person, just different people. He works with all women, and it kind of started there, and then it kind of escalated, and he would find people on Craigslist. And, I mean, after I got the one email, I started to, I guess, research into his activities more and found out a lot.
Okay. Why are you still there?
Because when we got married, I wanted to make it work, and we have kids together, and, you know, there's other things that have gone on, like, you know, our living situation. I'm a full-time student, and, you know, he's the only one that works, and, I mean, I could leave. It'd be hard. I've done it before, but not with him. I mean, I've been on my own before, and I know I can do it, but I really wanted to try to make it work and get over this.
Okay. But you don't really have a partner there who's actually working with you.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you tried counseling?
We have gone in the past. When this all came to light.
And was that helpful? Was it helpful?
It helped a little bit, but he seems to just be really defensive.
Okay. So he is not seeing this as his problem. He is not seeing it as something that he wants to change.
You know, he tends to blame it on my behavior, and
okay.
I tried to explain that nothing I could ever do would justify his actions.
Okay. But as long as you have someone who is blaming you, who is not being responsible, who is not willing to make a change in himself, there isn't a lot that a spouse can do.
Yeah, I've kind of started to realize that.
Okay. That it sounds like it would be helpful for you actually to get some support in this about what you might need to do to separate from someone like this who continues to hurt you, knows that it hurts you, has no intention to change, and isn't taking responsibility for how this is affecting you and the rest of the family.
Yeah.
It's important that you know that this is not your fault. It doesn't matter what you have done. It's still not your fault. He chooses his behavior. I'm sure he knows by this time that this greatly upsets you.
Yeah.
But if he continues to do it, it's important that you start to ask yourself, is this something that I choose to live with? Is this okay with me? Because your part you can change. His part you can't. He's responsible for his part. If he would be willing to enter into therapy, it would be really important that he do that, but do that in a very serious way to deal with his own issues regarding what's happening for him. He sounds like he's very much out of control in his behavior and in his actions. If he's on Craigslist, if he's just looking for anyone at any time, he's totally out of control.
Yeah.
Okay. So the best that you can do is to start to look at what you are in control of versus what you're not in control of. You're not in control of someone else, but you are in control of what you want to do and the choices that you might need to make. So I really support you in getting help in this and moving in a direction that will make you start to feel better about yourself.
Alrighty. Well, thank you.
All right. This is Dr. Kimberly Taylor, and we'll be talking a little bit after the break. I'm Kimberly Taylor, and you're listening to KZSB AM 1290. Hi, this is Dr. Kimberly Taylor. We're on the phone with Stuart. How can I help you, Stuart?
Hi, Dr. Taylor. I was calling about an issue I'm having with one of my sisters, actually.
Okay.
I loaned her a large sum of money not too long ago, and it was money that when I gave it to her, I stressed the importance that it was for school and that I needed it back pretty quickly. And, time went by and she didn't return it, and I tried to get a hold of her, and she's not returning my calls. I know she's talked to other family members, and it feels like she's avoiding me. It's not so much about the money anymore. I'm trying to figure out how to at least resolve the situation with my sister.
Okay. Is this the first time you've loaned someone money?
This much, yeah.
Okay. And when you loaned it to her, did the two of you write up a contract?
No.
So it was just verbal?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it sounds like you said that you need your money back right away. Was she going to be able to pay that back? Did she have a job?
She said she was going to be giving it back to me the next day.
The next day?
That she had money coming, but she needed to pay for something immediately until that money cleared.
Okay. And what is her reason for not paying you the next day? Did she say?
She said I was on the road driving to New Orleans at the time, and so we played a little bit of phone tag, but eventually I gave her my account number and told her to put it in my account when she had the chance. And the last time I spoke to her, she said she had just been up in the mountains and not near a Chase Bank. So that was like 2 months ago.
Okay. And have you talked to her since then, or was that when she cut you off?
That's when she cut me off. I know she's spoken to my mother in the last couple of days.
Okay.
So I know she's in contact with people, and I know she has my phone number.
Okay. All right. So what do you think is going on? Why do you think she hasn't paid you back?
I mean, I think that something happened, that she doesn't have the money, or she spent it, or whatever it is, she just doesn't want to tell me that she can't return it.
Okay. All right. Well, it is going to be really hard if she's not talking to you. But I would suggest that maybe you write her a short letter. Say that you are disappointed that you had this agreement and that you would like to know how she is going to go about paying this off. You're willing to set up a payment plan as long as she's willing to stick to that. And that might help her feel good that she can pay it off even if she can't pay it off in a lump sum. And it would be a great lesson to the two of you that loaning money, borrowing money from a family member or friend usually doesn't work out well, and it can end up hurting the relationship in the long run. Unfortunately, she doesn't hold this money as important as you, and she's willing right now to have that come between the two of you, and that's what's going to be painful, is if she continues to do that. I'm Kimberly Taylor, and you're listening to KZSB AM 1290. So as we come to the close of our program, I just want to emphasize to parents out there that the key to try to discipline your child has to do with your ability to be consistent and predictable with what is expected of them and to absolutely enforce consequences for bad behaviors. Though this may take some work for parents to set up a list of family rules and consequences, it will be well worth your investment to build a more peaceful home with happy and respectful children. Please join me next Thursday when the topic will be eating disorders. I have invited 2 experts in the field who will join me in the studio as we examine the causes, symptoms, and treatment of these disorders. You can also listen to this program live on the internet by going to drkimtaylorshow.com. As we close, I want you to just remember no one else has to change in order for you to get better.